Shut my door. Welcome to come to Mama Tarot. This is not what I meant to say. Edit. Could you shut my door? You guys are loud and I'm live. Well, people, I lost all train of thought. I did go. Hey, people. Lost all train of thought and called myself something that I'm not. So please excuse me. Welcome to Come to Mama. I'd like to discuss a couple of things with you. I pulled a couple of cards, 2 cards to be exact, and I wanted to discuss them. I am tired. I usually come on here when it's nighttime. It's 10:30 my time. I've had a day of work and kids and sports, and now I'm winding down. But I wanted to um, continue to come on here. Um, but I wanted to talk about a few things. And one of the cards I pulled from the Cosmic Journey Oracle is Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. The next one I pulled was a Queen of Diamonds, and that's from the Illuminated Tarot. And these cards are beautiful. The artwork is beautiful to me on here, it's creative. And I bought these from Marshall's. This is the Illuminated Tarot box. And they're just a 52 deck of regular cards. And then I got the Cosmic Journey Oracle. I call myself Come to Mama Tarot, which eventually I would like to do tarot readings, but I'm still in the process of learning. And I will eventually start doing some readings, but I wanted to, um, come in regards to the topics tonight. So, synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. How many of you believe in synchronicities? How many of you believe that there's no mistakes? Well, that's the truth. Some of the things that I came up with, like synchronicities, is when you're having life challenges or when things are going great, but there's something that appears, whether it be a book, a YouTube video, art, people, numbers, colors. I wrote these things down, songs, all things in your environment if you're paying attention. So let's say you're at your wedding and you are, it's a beautiful day, but you've been stressed out because, well, let's say it's before the wedding and you're getting ready to get married and you're worried and stressed and you want to look beautiful and you're worried the cake ain't going to come on time, or, dad's not going to show up in time to walk you down the aisle, or whatever stresses we have. And then that song comes on, um, a beautiful song like Brian McKnight's You're More Than Wonderful, So Amazing, or um, Never Felt This Way by Brian McKnight. I love that song. Anyway, if you've listened to these songs and you've listened to them with your significant other as well, maybe made a little love to it, or just set the beautiful romantic mood, and it comes on, it kind of in your mind, it's like, okay, this is worth it. This is going to work out. Whatever happens, happens. I'm moving forward. I am not going to stress, right? So, specific songs will take you back to the old days when you were a teenager and it was summertime, and you used to sit outside late at night with your friends and laugh and joke, and no, you had to go, you felt like you had to go pee but you didn't want to go inside. You want to stay outside with the homies and kick it and have a good time, or you might have had one of the little boys in your group that was a crush, and y'all was kind of crushing on each other, but didn't say anything, and you didn't want to go in the house, and you know those wonderful situations that happen, might make you think, geez, I haven't talked to Yvonne, or, I ain't talked to, so and so in a couple years, let me hit them up, and, you reminisce on those things. I mean, music is magic. It's magic. It has the ability to make you time travel to, just different times in your life. That's the beautiful thing about it. And then there's also, like, I remember one of my exes, he used to play this song by Christopher Martin. Oh Lord, don't let me cheat on my girlfriend, 'cause as far as I can see, she loves only me. Oh Lord, don't let me cheat on my girlfriend. Lord, if you can't stop me from cheating, don't let me get caught. Don't let me get caught. And he used to play the heck out of that song, and then come to find out his ass was cheating. I look back on it now. I mean, hey, it is what it is. But for a long time, I did not like that song. And, we did uh, try to make it work again. And guess who we went to go see in concert? And that guy started singing that song, and I just walked to the back. I was pissed. So, just certain thing, music is kind of a little off the subject, but music is one of those things that's that's a synchronicity from the universe. Um, and you just have to pay attention to what's going on around you. You know, you have to notice how you feel, at the time. Like if you're in a negative mode, you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. There might be a book that's sitting right there on your shelf that you need to go pick up. It might have a title to something that may seem interesting, that might pertain to how you're feeling at that moment in time, right? Um, or um, I think a lot of it has to do with, how you choose to see things as well. I mean, we've been trained to look at things that are bad as just bad and negative, but I've learned to look at things as a lesson, a life lesson. Did you learn the lesson? Is the question sometimes. I know that for me, I thought I learned the lesson, and then I went and got with somebody that was a different face, but the same kind of problems, right? So that's when you have to start asking yourself, okay, is it me, or is it them, or is it us? And own up to, what roles you play in situations. But again, pay attention, because at that time when he was cheating and playing that song, that was the universe telling me. I felt every bit of it too, because I just really did not like that song. I mean, first of all, it's inappropriate to be to be to be playing a song like that. And then, I was feeling insecure about the relationship because other things were going on and stuff at the time. And then come to find out, I mean, it ended up being true. So, um, I think that, again, just whatever the situation is in your life, pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to the billboards, to number synchronicities. And if you don't know what numbers mean, look them up. You can look them up online. There's books on numbers. Um, all this metaphysical and all this hidden information that used to be, occult information, is made open to you right now. So that's what I feel my calling has been, because I've been finding that I've been finding interest in these things more and more, and they come to me. It could be a YouTube channel, a specific YouTube channel that I'm watching, and they're kicking down some information that just sounds so interesting and it just really resonates with me. And so then, of course, that inspires me to go and look into it. And so I have all these books. I have so many books I've bought, and I haven't really had a chance to like sit down and break it down and like really, really get into it because, like right now, I'm currently in like taking a class, and then I'm a mom, full time mom, and then I work, and so I need to find time though because there are people who do. There are people that do way more than I do and still find time to study. So that's going to be another video. So I also pulled a card, the Queen of Diamonds, and it says a bond between the internal and external, mastery, not control of nature. So I just take that as let nature take its course, right? Um, I wrote down a couple of things and to kind of give me an idea of how I wanted to discuss this tonight. And, you learn from nature, you learn how to navigate, right? You learn, you know, specific animals or specific herbs or just, human nature, um, the natural process of things, just letting it unfold. That's what is important is sometimes letting things unfold without you trying to control the situation, right? And so, like, the bond between inner and outer self is, I guess, your inner self and your outer self, as above, so below, as within, so without, their polarities. And, you know, um, maybe even just your inner being, your sheer will of living, you still don't try to control all things. You control what you can, and then you let the things that you can't control, you give it to God. And one of the or Yahweh or Allah or whatever I call him, the universal God. I know there's like a lot of different, you shouldn't call God this and these God. Some gods are, no longer strong anymore, or some of them are, Anunnaki and all this other stuff. But my whole life I just knew God is God, so I can call it a supreme being, the maker of all, the creator. I really like the creator. I really may try to stick with that, the creator. But anyway, back to what I was saying about bonding between inner and external self. For me, I'm a Taurus, and I'm a double Taurus in Vedic astrology. So I'm like a Taurus sun and Taurus ascendant and a Cancer moon. So, uh, and then I'm a Capricorn North Node, right? So I came from Cancer, past life or early life. And I see why I had 8 kids, and I'm such a family oriented type person. I mean, had I known, because caps are bosses. I mean, they just are. Um, and my soul wants to strive to be a boss. So, I'm working on that. I'm working on it. Uh, just trying to find ways to, pay attention to um, the synchronicities around me, the people around me, the things that I'm viewing. Is it helping me grow into a boss? Is it, inspiring me to do something I've never done before? Well, hell yeah, it is. I will say that myself. Thank you, Creator. Um, but I am an Earth sign, and I'm fixed, and but I have so many other situations in my chart, um, but I can see that wanting to control instead of just letting it unfold. So in my relationships, like specifically with my children, I'll give an example. My youngest baby's 10 years old. He just started a basketball team. And I have 5 boys and 3 girls. And my boys are my 2 older boys, they didn't do too much sports. My oldest child, he was a wrestler and he played football in high school, but he never tried to pursue youth sports. My 28-year-old, because he's 30 now, my 28-year-old, he played football 1 year in youth football and never tried again. I think in high school he tried to play basketball, but he couldn't keep them grades up, so he couldn't make the team. So now I'm going, and then I had 3 daughters in a row, bam, bam, bam. And then I have these 3 youngest boys, 17 on down, 17, 15, and 10. So my 17-year-old, he's just, top notch athlete, elite. He's going to be great in sports, except for I don't want him to be some, you know, entertainer, for people. I mean, I want him to use sports as a vehicle to get to where he needs to go. But he's just a very special. Everything comes easy to him. Everything, right? And he's a Taurus, and he's born on my birthday. So, um, then he's a quarterback right now, getting ready to go to state champs next weekend, right? Go figure. And this is his third state champ. As a freshman, he was the quarterback, and varsity quarterback got injured, and they moved my son up the last couple of games, and then he went to state champ, and they won. So he's been excelling, and all through youth, he played youth football. He was top notch, the best on the team. It didn't matter if we moved him to another team; he always the best on the team. He played offense and defense, and he pretty much chose. And so he chose quarterbacking. But when he goes to college, I mean, if they chose him to be a running back or whatever, he would do those just fine too. He wouldn't have a problem, right? He's a great basketball player. He played AAU. Anyway, so I have a 15-year-old who's playing basketball for high school level. He's actually very talented too. And he's my Sagittarius. Woo! That's all I can say. I love him, but woo, boy, I tell you, boy, boy, boy. Parenting ain't for the weak. That one there. Anyway, so he plays basketball. He's always followed behind my 17-year-old. They're just like 2 years apart. He's always wanted to be like him. He played football and he did well. He played basketball, he did well. But then once my 17-year-old decided that he didn't want to play, I mean, he was moving up to high school. My 15-year-old decided he wanted to just play basketball. So I had them on an AAU basketball team and they did well. But my baby, he's 10. And he was little when they were playing their sports. So I put him on a youth basketball team like one time. And, you know, he also played 1 year youth football. But he was just one of them little kids, like he just wanted to do it because he seen his brothers doing it, but he really didn't have no interest in it. He was just a baby and he was just out there running around, and he usually the coaches would get pissed. They didn't have no patience for my baby. So anyway, he now moving forward, we just put him in a basketball team, and today was a scrimmage. So I noticed when he's out there playing, I'm a vocal mother when my boys are out on the court, and so he's just out there, and I'm just like, oh my god, put your hands up, do the, just. I, I said, you scared of the ball? And I know he's embarrassed. Because he don't know these kids. This is a whole new team, whole new kids, whole new place we live in, and so he don't even know these kids. But and he's like one of the biggest kids on the team, right? Weight wise and height wise, right? So about halfway through is when he started kind of getting a little warmed up. But he did slip and fall and hit his head, and but I just seen him getting a little bit more assertive, just really trying to. He was just really, instead of me being so trying to control the situation and yelling out to him, I should have been more patient and given him time to acclimate to his environment to really see what he was up against. He really don't know what he's doing. And this was all just experience. And so let's talk about things in your environment and people in their environment that kind of things that remind you, right, from the universe, right? So the lady behind me that's keeping score, she's like, that's why they're out there, mom, today. That's why they're out there. They're just trying to learn now. And I just, that kind of click, like click, click. Okay, chill out, calm down. But I'm so used to being on the sidelines with my older kids that are like, on it, they know what to do. And I'm just like, hey, rebound, blah, blah, this time I could hurt my child potentially, and I could hurt his hope to learn, and, really just kind of mess with his confidence if I don't stop really being overly in control or trying to control what he's doing. Um, and so I just told him when we left, you did really good. You got a lot to work on. He's one of those kids like, I got it. I know it. I said, you got work to do. You got a lot to learn. But we can watch some basketball together instead of anime. And maybe we can go over some plays, and you can kind of get an idea of what you may need to be doing. And that way when you get back out there, you kind of have a advantage, right? And so these kids are all like on the same team. I think it was like the 11-year-olds and the 10-year-olds, and they ended up being tied. So I just, really, want to see him doing some things. But again, it's something that he has to do when he's ready. And all I can do is really kind of just be there and support him, and find ways to encourage him, without seeming like you need to be more this or you need to get that. You scared of the ball? I know he was just like, if you don't shut your so yeah, I learned something. Just that was just a little, a couple hours ago. So yeah, as a mom of all my kids, my daughters and the guys that they choose to deal with, I just try to, give them, you know, uh, maybe talk third party about other people's situation. My mother always says, just tell them a story. Just tell them a story. They'll probably get it through the story you're telling, which is true, right? So there's just so many ways to get through to people without trying to control them, and just let it unfold. Let them bump their head. Let them get their heart broke. Let them, figure it out. And, what I do tell my children is this: hey, I tell you what I know. It's because I love you. But if you don't listen and if something happens, all I'm going to be able to do is cry with you. Because once you get a certain age, what can you do as a mother? You can't stop a police from giving them a ticket. You can't stop them from getting tickets. You can't stop them from, making mistakes and getting in debt or and all these different things. All you can do is explain your experiences and try your best to hope that they listen. But again, sometimes a hard head make a soft ass, and you just gotta let it happen. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night with that, or I may make another video on something, another topic that I wanted to talk about. But again, thank you very much. And, I hope in time that people like and subscribe and catch my lives so that we can interact and talk about some things. I'd like to interact with the world. And until then, you have a wonderful evening and much gratitude to the world out there.